So we're gonna get into this Reesa Tessa stuff. Okay, so by this point, everybody should know about what happened with Reesa Tessa. If not, just a quick synopsis. A young woman who ends up meeting this guy online, and they end up quarantining with each other after 2 weeks of meeting. She ends up getting pregnant. She unfortunately miscarries. So over the course of about a year and a half of knowing him, they do end up getting married, and she finds out that everything that he told her was in fact a lie. So that's just basically the overall, gist of it. So, this is going viral, and a lot of people have had a lot to say about it. And a lot of people are just, asking, why did this woman stay with him? He was obviously a liar. This story sounds bizarre. It sounds like a Lifetime movie, a Tubi movie. And why didn't you get out of it quicker? So, in my opinion, we know a lot of women that are like Reesa Tessa, who are very nice, very sweet, who tend to excel at their jobs, and are very organized, very responsible, and for the most part they are very intelligent people. But then sometimes in the dating arena or dating scene, it just doesn't make sense of things that they will allow, things that they will go through, and things that they would put up with, being that they have that level of, like, say for instance, intelligence and success as far as work. But then when it comes to relationships, it's just kind of like the light bulb goes off. So what I believe and how I feel is that what Reesa Tessa probably should have really just talked about, stated, and which would have tied the story a bit better and made more sense, is the fact that, she suffers from low self-esteem. And that's exactly the reason why stuff went that far. She alluded to it, or stated about how, she just wanted this to be her turn. She wanted to have that marriage. She wanted to have the baby. She wanted to have the husband, and she wanted her turn. So I do feel like, coupled with her, feeling like, maybe she was not the girl that, got first choice, first pick. Everybody ended up in relationships. Everybody ended up with that man, and she never really got hers. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the reason why she allowed stuff to, go without saying. From the jump, from the beginning, she knew that something wasn't right. And that was the whole little thing she kept saying, something wasn't right. And that equated to, I knew that he may not be telling the truth or whatever, but I'm going to let it slide, because in my mind, I'm just like, I have this man and he is paying the bills, even though it's not a lot of bills and stuff like that. So I really feel like the deeper story, or more important part, is the reason why you allowed this to happen, and why it took so long for this to, for you to be over it, because you were so just happy to have somebody, because of the fact that you probably didn't feel like possibly you can find somebody else, or find somebody else that would be doing this, paying for my bills type thing. And so, it happens a lot. I just think that it might just need to be more so talked about and stuff like that. And I think that's another reason why a lot of women, in a lot of different cases, this is an extreme case, end up keep taking stuff, dealing with stuff that they don't have to deal with, because they don't have that self-love, they don't have that self-esteem, and they probably feel like this is the best that I can get, and I'm just gonna roll with the punches and just stick it through. So this just basically definitely should be looked at as a precautionary tale of, self-love, believing, listening to your inner voice, and following what that inner voice is telling you. But another theme in this story that I noticed was how religion plays a role, or how people feel that certain things need to happen due to the fact that that's what the church says. So to me, there was a duality going on here. So Reesa Tessa said something of the sort that, she felt like they needed to get married because it was nagging at her, because they were living together and they weren't married. So that was one of the reasons why she married him, even though she overlooked multiple things that were screaming at her not to do it. She did it in the name of, oh, well, the Bible says I need to be married to this man that I'm living with. But what I thought was just kind of interesting as well with that is, no shade, no disrespect, but were you not thinking about the Bible when you moved in with him? Were you not thinking about the Bible when you were, having premarital sex? Were you not thinking about the Bible when you got pregnant? So, my whole thing is, listen, if that's what you want to do you. But it's just kind of funny how, like, it was like a duality thing where you were not listening to what the Bible said on that, but then you felt like it was so important to get married to this person because that's what you were doing, but you had already did it. So that's just my thing. I thought that was just kind of an interesting point that I made, that I saw. And, I see that with, in a lot of instances with relationships where they'll do stuff first and then bring the Bible in and say, well, the Bible says we need to be doing this if we're doing this already. But if you were paying attention to what the Bible said, you shouldn't have started doing that other stuff first. You're supposed to do marriage first, then all the other stuff. But that's just another thing that I saw. Not to say, not judging about what you do, because do you, boo? That's how I am. But I just feel like that was another thing that I just kind of thought that was very interesting. But anyways, those are my opinions on it. And, let me know what you all think. That was a very interesting story, very juicy, salacious, and movie-worthy story. So, all right, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.